clutch he just pulled off, and with Wox, Malabuka, and Ping pressing behind him, that's going to be tough to actually survive. But Peterbot just continues. Here, Cold, Ritual, and Peterbot now looking to be on the move, but they're still just barely above this damage threshold. They're going to have to turn and fight eventually.
They're sitting on a teeter-totter right now when it comes to Storm Surge, and it's knocking them above, below, and it's essentially doing a little bit of mind games for a team like this. And you see his material count, 3 builds left. They almost have to go onto the next team they see, but it's Veno and his trio, it's Kanata and his trio. There's so many dangerous players all around. They're just happy that they're 73 above the damage threshold, waiting for the next zone, but they have to do something because everyone around them is being proactive. They see them out the weak team. Vigo, Veno, Flixie, they're targeting it over. Cold goes down. That's Kanata stealing away that elimination. Veno's gonna clean that one up, so points go to Kanata's team. Loot goes to Veno's.
EU on one side, Middle East on the other, and Ritual, the last man standing, but not for much longer, fully eliminated. That is a huge blow here in game one, but Vigo, Veno, Flixie, now they might have drawn the attention of the lobby. They're gonna take a moment to pause, replenish their shields. Halad and Hero still doing what they can, but they're lingering just outside. They're gonna have to still try and push past Tayson's trio, and that's gonna be hard to tunnel through because Jacob, with the way that the zone is pulling over resistance, so much water, so much exposure, teams are just burning through materials.
Yeah, this one's going to get messy. There's one lone team. I think they're a duo on the other side of that island already. They don't have to worry about anything. Meanwhile, they have to make decisions here on this side of the zone. Do you stack up the beach coast as long as possible with different players, or do you try to make that daring play, try to get towards the center? Because who knows, if the zone goes south, that'll be a play that works out for you, but if it pulls north, if it pulls towards the east, that's when they're going to have some troubles.
Take a look at what's happening on height, though. Queasy, Merstache, and Swizzy. Can you think of anything different to ever take place in the endgame lobby, Jacob, than seeing Queasy immediately try to challenge and take height for himself? You can already tell the Gentlemates are going absolutely ballistic right now. Swizzy and Merstache just following through Queasy's commands here out of their IGL, but they've got the entire lobby in their sights. It's all about maintaining their positional control.
Oh, they actually found themselves 66 below, but you can see immediately with that minigun and some pre-edits, they're able to kind of take him down, grab that elimination. Loot and Storm Surge all being accumulated in a blink of an eye, kind of leaving Pixie and Marius by themselves. The good thing, though, is they're 568 damage above the threshold. The bad thing, though, their loadout, their material count, that one is not looking good. 5 bandages, but they don't have any HP missing yet, but they have a max pull all across the water to the other side of that. This game, but there goes Malabuka. Nice drop on the Hottie. He needs it, and he needs it now because he's barely above that damage threshold.
And that's the kind of refresh that Marius was hoping to find, but instead it's going to be all Malabuka. But no, he's going to actually be forced to keep charging forward. He doesn't even get a chance to try and collect that body loot off of Hottie. Fortunately, he still has a good amount of material and just beaming a minute as he trails behind him. The Fizz Crash Pad combination just taking him so far, but when you're in this position, Jacob, as a solo over the water, you're just hoping out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, you just got to take it one step at a time. You can't get too ahead of yourself, especially if you hear action going down around you. You got to use that as a distraction, try to get out, but Marius finds himself in a tough spot. Well, above the damage threshold, and another elimination on the eye drop, but he is by himself as a solo with a rotation to make. Now he's just getting ticked away little by little. Halad is able to finally take him down. That's a big confidence boost for a team like that.
Of course, but Height has had a couple of developments here. Striker and Kadu, we saw them posturing a little bit earlier on before that last rotate. This next pool is going to send everyone packing, though. Reason Mr. Savage Chap definitely setting up, but Visual's actually going to be one of the first to try and move into the next position. Cisco, Kaido, Striker, though, right up above. Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts trying to see if they can be a threat. But if you're going to be in this height position, you've got to make sure that you are controlling, funneling players away from height, away from secondary height even. But with the crash pads in play, Jacob, that's going to be so difficult.
Yeah, you got to watch out, too. Chicho, Riz, Tayson, they're underneath. They're probably having their eye on the high ground. Cisco's trying to put good damage onto King Phaser and PH Sin, but it backfires on him, forcing him to retreat just a little bit. As Tayson just building his way up, he knows he doesn't want to be stuck on that mess on the low ground. And even NA West in the elimination feed going crazy as Arkansas takes down King Phaser and PH Sin with a little help from Chap.
But Tayson's got such an excellent position in that secondary high layer now, shooting towards that front side of zone. It's only Clix and Iyamzo. They lost Higgs somewhere along the way. Iyamzo doing what he can to claim a little bit of space here next to Clix, but ideally, they're going to have to duke it out in the low ground, Jacob. They need a big refresh. They've got to keep that material count high, but Merstash, he's actually falling the mid ground, getting a little bit too chaotic, and he just couldn't break through.
Yeah, Chicho's the one that gets the down, but Kadu's the one that steals away the elimination and getting a lot of loot for their efforts. Queasy trying to do the same thing. Steal whatever is left back from Merstash. And you're seeing there's a decent amount of loot. The Flowberry Fizz, probably the most important part of the entire loadout that he has in that inventory is Veno, Quixie, Vico. They're still down below. They're trying to claim space, and with a minigun, that's just going to be a little bit easier. But with no extra shields, Vico's got to play a little careful here not to take too much damage. Swizzy, Queasy, same thing, but they have multiple splashes. They got the slurp juice. They got the key to success in their inventory.
But they don't have the material, so that's why Queasy just drops all the way down to ultimate low. They're hoping that they can pick up an elimination or two and then maybe look to try and challenge for a retake on height. They know how scuffed everybody's looking down here, but Vico finds that elimination onto Art. That's going to be a massive refresh here. Vico, though, getting beamed the moment that he tries to make a layer swap. He is immediately put down into the dirt. Clix fighting for his life, still in the low ground, but he just can't hang. Offball's going to be the one to take him out.
Yeah, even though Clix went down, the damage has been felt for that team that he just took out two different players in a tough situation. As Tayson, Chicho, they're trying to look up, but that minigun is just causing so many distractions. They have to focus on getting to the front side of the zone, but they're being persistent. Down goes high ground. This is their chance. They're looking up. Striker gets cracked. He gets knocked altogether. Cisco's taking damage. He's gonna fall as well. Chicho is absolutely insane. As him and Tayson, they go from the on-spawn battle against Brodoxy to high ground in the end game.
But they're still gonna need materials. Chicho has 0 builds left to his name. All of his material count dropped to Tayson. Swizzy still holding his own as well. Deep inside of these ultimate low ground layers, he's looking to try and maybe cut off bolts in the process. But Kanata, Rapid, can the double revive actually be a success? And sure enough, it's a fully intact trio versus Tasia. Duo Friesen finds a big elimination onto Swizzy though, and Chap going to immediately drop back. Tayson still on the high ground. This is looking primed up for Tayson to bring it home.
That was a huge knock for Bolts. They finished that elimination on the Reason. This is a 2v2v2, and the only team alive with all three is going to be Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts. Ow, that's not my fault. I didn't curse them, but it is now just one less player that they have to worry about. Tayson trying to drop down low, but maybe a little too soon. Chicho as well. He gets shut down, and Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts steal the game.
Max Nada strikes again, and this time it's for the victory royale. He's been saying how confident he's been feeling all week. I can't help but believe him.
Let's go, Kanada! You were telling Benji how confident you were going into this competition. You were telling me in the player lounge yesterday you felt like this was your year. Now you have the first victory royale, but you made it look simple.
I mean, to be honest, Rapid Eyes yelling like a goat right now. I'm just following. I'm the minigun in the whole lobby, and we just winning the game for free.
Winning the game for free. I don't think the other trio is going to let you have an easy ride in future. For you, Bolt, what was it like being caught in the chaos? The three of you going into the end game.
Yeah, I mean, Rapid was just full tarping. I'm literally just looking with shotgun out on my wall. Everything was a max. Guy on my double edit, 120 on height, Nada goes up from the back, dead on both. Literally a go.
First game, first victory royale. That was the plan?
Yeah. First of many.
First of many what?
Wins. Victory royale. 4.
Ah, il mise sur 4 victoires. Messieurs, dames, du bruit pour le trio de Canada, Rapid and Bolts!
I'm enjoying this. A confident prediction of 4 from your IGL, but Kanada, I think you're expecting more wins.
Oh, we got at least 3 more wins in a bag. I already said backstage I'm doing at least 4 wins in this entire tournament for free.
All right then, well guys, I'll let you get ready for the second lobby of the day. Leon, let them hear you! Bolt, Kanada, and of course Rapid. Let's head to the break. We'll be back soon with more Fortnite.
Do you get scared? Do you feel lost? I can smell fear. I've been there before. You made it through the storm again. You did it on your own again. Goosebumps in your skin. Do you feel what I feel? I'm waiting on you to notice that you got what you want. You don't got time to cry right now. Only got time to focus. Cause we aiming at your head. I don't need a pick me up and I don't need a rest. Knock down, top down, hit him in his leg. Pull up with the trio and my eyes all red. Like 2, 3 of us can't come with us. Everybody screaming like they did and believe in us. Believe in us, believe in us. Two hits on the wait list. I was all dead dangerous. Shot leaving faceless. I was all dead dangerous. All dead dangerous. I was all dead dangerous. You should have noticed. I've been. Get scared? Do you feel lost? I can smell fear. I've been there before, but you made it through the storm again. You did it on your own again. Goosebumps in your skin. Do you feel what I feel? I'm waiting on you to notice that you got what you want.
Game 1 of the Global Championship, and we swing for the fences. I cannot believe Kanada comes out and gets the first game on the day. Mentals, way ups. Kanada stocks, way up. Absolutely amazing to see the trio shine in this moment. And I love that we kind of got those interviews right after, right? Because like normally in majors, we don't get that. We just like, oh, they're amazing, whatever. To go right to the, hey, talk us through, get each and everyone kind of saying, hey, this is what I was doing, this is my part, this was their part. Oh my gosh, man. Vivid, I love this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the type of reaction we wanted. No better person to go ahead. Every single time he pops up on that stage, he's going to let us know exactly what just happened. But Levin, I mean, we're kind of watching through this game. There's so much stuff happening throughout the entirety of these moving zones, and we never really checked in with him. And then I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Rapid's alive? Bolt is alive? Kanada's alive? The full trio was up.
I mean, I love the celebration there, man. Look at it. He actually celebrated more than people who have won global championship. You know, I don't think we've seen people celebrate like this when they even win. And it just goes to show how much it means to them, how much it means to have such a good start. You're right, baby, things are looking so good. I mean, as soon as we cut to Canada with that minigun in hand, I mean, I'm getting flashbacks to the end of last year. I mean, things were so good for them towards the back end of this game. And to see all of them be confident, right? We know like Canada's going to be confident. That's a given.
Yeah.
But Bolts and Rapid, the way they were talking, they really believe that they're going to go out here and win for however many more games.
Dude, 11, Zeke, Bolt just being like, yeah, man, I just had my shotgun out and everything was a max, dude.
Max, bro.
Dude, you got to be feeling good, right? Because we kept talking about it. You got to adjust to the stage. You got to adjust to your setup. The fact that in game number 1, you're already hitting maxes and you know you are.
And I love that for Bolts, right? When you look back to last Globals, he popped off. And at the end of the event, every single player that was in that lobby afterwards was going to me, Levin, man, I'm trying to play with Bolts, man. Can we get Bolts in our chair? Bolts has to be the guy. Everybody thought he was going to ascend to be the best player in the world, right? And he's had an up and down year. But to come back on this global stage and for him to have a first game like that, it goes to show Bolts is still that guy.
I am so happy right now. But honestly, when we looked at those standings, they weren't in first place, right?
Yeah,
we look over and Tayson is in first place. 13 eliminations, right? So again, remember, we are all so used to seeing majors, right? We're sitting in our own region comfortable, but these are some of the best trios in the world. How are we putting up double-digit eliminations in game 1?
This is the same guy, by the way, who started the day saying, yeah, I'm going to give the win to other people. What was he waffling about, mate? He is on fire right now. They win the off-spawn. Flushed up big. And then they go on to just win the outright game. Again, it's why it's so heartbreaking we're seeing them fight off-spawn. They can go, Vivid, from having this game to not even getting to play through the next game, right? They might just end up having to watch for half an hour. But this is what they can do when they win that fight. We know it.
Yeah, I mean, incredible stuff, right? Talking about that all-spawn, I kind of mentioned, hey, when you win this all-spawn, it's not always going to happen where you have all 3 alive, and they had that happen, right? No stalling up the early game, and then, oh my gosh, Chicho just putting on an absolute clinic. You're a duo, and you look up and you see 3 people on the high ground. You see that they're only connected by 1 wood floor. You have the confidence to not only go ahead and pressure the team on the high ground, but then knock 2 of them while they're falling from the high ground. Chicho just showing us the aim in full force.
I mean, this is where I start to really look at the Global Championships and things get interesting for me, because I think a lot of people were expecting in this first game for Height to look a certain way.
Yeah.
Like, we know EU teams like to play with it. We know Queasy's team love to play for it early. We know Vanya's team can do it as well. In this game, it was Queasy's team that had set up. Kazi's teams end up taking it from them, and so Chicho and them are looking up. They might be, probably been expecting it to be more reinforced, right? Chicho's probably looking up thinking, Queasy's probably up there. He looks up and he's like, hold on a minute. Just single with time, man. Let's chop this down. And it's so opportunistic, but it's exactly what you need in a lobby like this. You have to take the opportunities when they come to you.
Oh my gosh, so absolutely beautiful. Man, as we start to head down this lobby list though, Vico, Veno, Flixie tied up with Chap, Reason, and Mr. Savage.
Wow.
You know, there's just so many incredible moments. I feel like anytime we cut to a different trio, it's just like, hey, this trio's popping off. They're pushing what? Hiding time in Fortnite. Once again, I'm going to keep saying it all weekend long, man. Bringing together 7 regions and making them fight. It is spectacular.
I mean, this game looks so good for Veno, Flixie, and Vico. Honestly, I thought they were going to go ahead and win it because, you know, come around to, I believe it was like 9th zone, it actually pulled to the southeast, and they were already kind of primed up, ready to go ahead, full force, grab the front side of moving, and they did. But for some reason, when they got there, they just had nothing left in the gas tank. They couldn't defend the position. They couldn't pick up the eliminations nor the refreshes in time for them to stay alive as a trio. As you can see here, still the individual performances from Vico and Veno, still picking up enough points to put them high up on that leaderboard. But man, if they could have just stayed alive for a little bit longer as a trio, they could have won that game.
Yeah, you talked about Vico's confidence coming into the competition, and it was good to see him in his element, not shying away from the stage, not shying away from the bright lights. In that game, there was so many, there was a couple of moments in that end game where it almost felt like they had to tell him to chill a little bit. I saw him trying to like run into boxes a bit too much. But when Vico's confident and he's firing and he's flying like that, he is going to be a big problem for anybody in this lobby who even gives him an inch of room to fight.
Dude, I mean, also, you know, we kind of touched on it earlier about height. the way Queasy had that kind of early game, right? Getting obviously we know that they're uncontested, but
yeah,
having the queen spawn, I'm thinking, bro, this is it, game over.
I mean,
and things didn't quite go that way.
It was unfortunate because the setup looked primed for a classic Queasy hype win. It just looked so set up perfectly, but Vivid, an unfortunate zone pull. We've seen it happen. You know, it's a part of the game. Of course, as a pro team, you are doing everything you can to mitigate any possible RNG, but sometimes the zones just don't pull your way. And I think that was really the thing that sort of forced them to have to not be able to play high in this one. Still, very good intentions from them throughout that game.
Oh yeah, 100%, right? It was actually a high ground take, right? We saw them as picks up on the high ground. They had it pretty secured, and then I was like, oh my gosh, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Queasy and co. They launch padded right over, landed on top of him, had it convincingly. And like Levin was talking about, right? The zone was incredible. It was like 7th zone. Every single team was on the east side of it, right? They were chilling. There was this big body of water. All the way on the west side, there was one set of arrows. Just one little set of purple arrows, and that was Kado's trio from the Brazilian region. And the zone pulled west. So they just had high ground for free, and Queasy like, yeah, you guys are lucky. I'm not going to go for that, but man, I'm going to hit socials after that one.
And I mean, there was a point where I thought they might even try to retake it, right? Because Queasy gets the fizz, like he sees the loot, gets the fizz. He has his crash pad. I'm thinking, maybe they go for it. This could still happen. But look, again, it's like what I said, intentions, right? You see that they're coming here to play their game. They're not shying away from doing what they do best. Queasy, Mustache, and Swizzy, we have definitely not heard the end of it from them.
Guys, there's a trio I'm not seeing in this top 10 right now.